It is the bottom of the hour. Should you be looking at your clock? We continue the long-running High-Tech Texan show, KPRC 950 across Southeast Texas, and very easily listened to on my website, hightech-texan.com. That website, by the way, it's launched. We're going to call it relaunched in January. Listen, we're 6 months into the year, continue to get really nice comments on, hey, Gar, finally you're getting into the 21st century, Mr. High-Tech, and your website looks great. I do have to give a lot of shout outs and kudos to the ASTOUNDZ team here in Houston. They do wonderful work for actually companies all over the country too, but I got with them and they listened to me exactly what I needed and wanted to grow my company. Steve Winter runs that organization, and they do so much more than web design. They do SEO, search engine optimization, which always is something that I do want to keep in forefront to my listeners out there, because you probably have a company, you have a website. What is SEO and how can you maximize its use? With that, why not bring in the man from ASTOUNDZ himself? Steve Winter joins me. Steve-O, I hope you're keeping cool this summer. How are you, Mr. SEO?
We're doing great. It is a little warm here in Houston, Texas these days, but trying to play a little golf and stay out of trouble.
Well, I tell you, I opened the show talking about the price of electricity right now, so I don't know. We're going to lose either way if we're sitting inside the air conditioning or if we're outside sweating, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
No matter where you are, though, the web is always at our hands. If we're sitting inside in the air conditioning on our desktops or laptops, if we're outside on a mobile phone, people do research. We do utilize the web so much more so. My website, hightech-texan.com. Thank you guys so much, and you continue to update it. And the SEO, I'm really getting some new, links and business opportunities, really thanks to your use and expertise of search engine optimizing my website. SEO, Steve. When people think about this, it's like, okay, let's hire ASTOUNDZ. We're going to hire you. And you're going to go into my current website and you're going to put some keywords. So when people go to Google, they're going to find me. And then they're thinking, all right, well, I hired these guys one time. They've optimized it. That's the end of that. Why should I keep paying them? I know the answer to that, but you probably get this a lot. What is the partnership between a company like yours and why SEO should be a regular partnership on a monthly rotating basis?
Michael, I think one of the greatest analogies I heard one time with SEO, it's like if you want to go get in shape, okay, you don't go work out one time with someone and think that you're going to be in shape and stay in shape, right? It takes time to get in shape. And then you have to maintain it. You can't just, go, okay, I got in shape. Now I'm going to go eat fatty foods and stop working out and I'm going to stay in shape. SEO is exactly the same thing. Because of Google and what they do, and because of all of the new people coming on the internet all the time, right? And people updating websites and all that, it is a competitive landscape. Okay. And people out there are getting in shape and they, they keep improving what they're doing. So you can't just passively go and do a little bit of work, show up for a little while and think that you're just going to leave it and maintain your rankings. It is an ongoing process, keeping up with the algorithm and what all is changing in Google's world and all that. And that's why we have to monitor this stuff. We look at it every week for our clients, sometimes daily, to see what's going on. And we see a lot of volatility and Google just came out with a big algorithm update, truly one of the biggest ones. It took them 2 weeks to roll it out. And we saw tons of volatility in our rankings of our clients and all that. And ironically enough, Google says, if you fell in rankings, don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to change your website. It's just that there's new, better content out there that's now beating you. And well, it's like, well, no, you do have to do something, right? If you want to get back in there and your business relies on or is impacted by how you rank and what you're doing, you have to continually monitor it and make changes. As these algorithm updates and competitors come into the marketplace, you have to watch this stuff and maintain it all the time.
This happens more than we realize. Google changes their algorithms, and again, I never try to talk above anybody's head, including my own. But the algorithms, that's how Google, and we'll talk specifically about Google instead of other search engines. When you type something in, they have to have some sort of formula to be able to pull up and start listing, what the best match is. And sometimes they base it on backlinks and, how popular this site is. They continually change these. I, as a website owner, listen, I've got a business to run, Steve, and I don't want to worry about it. That's why I hire a company like you at ASTOUNDZ, and other companies hire you to keep up on this stuff, because you do need it. And funny thing is, You don't even let me know. I don't want to know. You're in control of my website and so many of your clients' website, so we can concentrate on business.
Yep. I mean, that's it. And these things, I don't like to get very technical about it either, but, like we say, it's, if, one of Google's analogies in this thing when they're saying, oh, don't worry about it. Well, if we had the top 10 list of movies that came out a year ago or 2 years ago, and now your movie is no longer on that top 10 list, don't worry about it. It's just that new, better movies came out. Well, it's the same thing on the websites, right? New, better content has come out or whatever. And so, content, they really are changing. What we used to be able to do, was create a couple of 100 words of content, write some decent content, and you would show up. We're seeing now that those couple 100 words now needs to be about 1,000 or 1,200 words of content. And you have to provide really good, relevant information. And we want to put in FAQs, frequently asked questions, because of what are people doing now? Hey, Siri, which is probably going to set my stuff off now, what is this, this, and this, and so they're looking where people are asking and answering questions, providing good, informative content. And so if you're not doing that and you were ranking good at one point, you probably aren't going to continue ranking well on things, and you will have to make changes and update content. That's why you have to monitor this stuff all the time and see how you're doing. And the other thing is people's business changes too, right? I mean, you add a new service, you add a new product line, whatever it is. And that's why this really is a partnership with our clients, because we need to know, and the better information and more feedback we get from our clients, the better we can do and the more we can help them.
Steve Winter, I'm talking with, he runs Astoundz. That's ASTOUNDZ. People put a Z on astoundz.com. They're here in Houston. And so we'll make sure we give you out his information. If you've got a website or you're in need of a search engine optimization, people think it may be jumping through hoops of starting this entire process, Steve. Maybe they think they need to create a brand new website like you did for me. I don't think that's necessarily the case. You can go into current websites, take a look at it. And I know you do this initially complimentary. What's the process for people saying, okay, you know what? I've heard about SEO for 10, 15 years. It's time I put my toe in the water. What's your process?
Yeah, well, and with the pandemic and people being stuck in their houses and all that, we had tons of people come more and more to the internet now, and you're exactly right. I mean, we need to look at it, and it is a very, very competitive game, and it is a cumulative game. The more things you can do right, the better you're going to do. So it just depends on the website. If you've got an outdated website that's no longer mobile responsive, or has never been mobile responsive, just not built well, et cetera, we may need to rebuild it, which is a pretty simple process, right? I mean, you saw it. We have an hour kickoff meeting, and we have you fill out a questionnaire, and from that, it's pretty amazing what we can accomplish.
It's amazing,
in a 4 to 6 week time frame in rebuilding a website. But that's what we look at. But some people have very beautiful websites, right? I mean, have done a great job, but they don't have a clue about SEO. The site's built, it looks beautiful. We've had some sites that we've gone to, and we know about these different things. We go look at it, but the site is set at do not index and do not follow, meaning it is hidden from Google or any search engine, right? It's just sitting there, isolated out on its island with no ability to find it, and or people create really gorgeous, beautiful websites but don't have any content. And unfortunately, Google does not, rank on beautiful pictures. It is all about having good content on the site.
No, it really is. Steve Winter joining us here from Astoundz. The process of creating that new website, it was uncannily easy. And actually, I'm so mad at myself for taking so long. I know you were making a dig at me going, what if your website isn't mobilized, which mine was not for the past 10 years, but it's that questionnaire. And it was so, it was, you understood, instead of just, hey, here's a company and they're just going to build some colorful looking thing. You understood my business. You wanted to know what is going to make me tick and what's going to grow my personal business. And I think that's the secret of what Astoundz does. And it was kind of like you are a therapist too. I mean, you put me through a personality test, man. And so I'm going to call you Dr. Winter.
Yeah. Well, but that's what we've got to do, right? We got to understand your business. We call them, what are your one clicks, but what makes you money? And what do you want people to get to very quickly on your website, right? People hate going and having to search, and can't find information, can't get to information, and they give up. I mean, the attention span today, right, in anything, but is so quick and all that, that you've got to define it where people can get to the website and design it in such a way that it's, whether it's on mobile or on desktop. Many times, we go look at traffic and where it's coming from. It's 50-50 desktop to mobile, and depending on the business, could be a lot heavier on mobile. So you have to design. We love the big pretty desktop view, but you also really got to define it around that little thing in your hand, so people can also navigate your website very quickly on mobile devices.
Just checking my email. I already got 2 or 3. Michael, what's his information? Can I call with him? Because this is a perfect time. One person said, great time of year, summer. We're slowing down a bit in the summer. The great time to actually start thinking of designing a website. Steve, your company's called ASTOUNDZ. What's the easiest way to contact you guys and anybody out there for an initial talk?
Yeah, you just go to ASTOUNDZ with a Z, ASTOUNDZ.com. And we've got all kinds of information. You can test your website out there. We've got great test tools. You can see how your site's doing literally in a matter of seconds out there by just putting in your domain name and testing it. And it'll bring back a report or whatever. And if you want us to, we're happy to give you a free consultation and talk about what it is we do. You can read our reviews out there. Our clients love us. We really try to be extremely transparent. Our pricing is on our website for SEO. So, we try to be very upfront and, do what we say we're going to do. We like to underpromise and overdeliver.
I love it. That's how it works. Steve Winter, appreciate your time. ASTOUNDZ.com, folks. You looking for a new website, or certainly need to get into the 21st century and getting it search engine optimized, at least give these guys a call for a complimentary chat. Tell them you heard it on the old Garf Show. Hey, stay inside at least, and good luck with the air conditioning bill, like all of us.
Yeah, thank you very much. And my gas bill.
Let's keep on talking about that. Hey, stand by. More bad news in life coming up on the High-Tech Texan Show. We will continue.
Yeah.